In this course, we will study the religions of the Western Hemisphere. We will not examine religions of the East, such as Hinduism, Buddhism, and Shintoism, which we cover in a separate class. Each of the symbols on this page represents a religion or denomination we will study. Can you identify them? The cult of Osiris, from ancient Egypt. Since Osiris is the god of the Nile, among other things, he is always green, representing vegetation. Islam. This is the word Allah, the Arabic word for God. This is Scientology, not Christianity. The 8 points of the cross represent the 8 dynamics. Zoroastrianism. This is the symbol for the creator, Ahura Mazda, the wise Lord. This is the cross used by the Eastern Orthodox branches of Christianity. The top bar represents the sign placed over Christ's head on the cross, proclaiming him the King of the Jews. The bottom bar represents the footrest Romans often placed on crosses for the victims to stand on. And Judaism. The Star of David is a relatively new Jewish symbol, not officially representing Judaism until 1897. The 7-branched candlestick, called a menorah, was used in the ancient temple in Jerusalem and is one of the oldest symbols of Judaism. Over the course of the semester, we will have the opportunity to examine each of these religions. We will look at their history, when we know it, their beliefs, and their practices. We will also discuss what we know about the earliest forms of religion and when we think religion began, which is actually prior to the evolutionary emergence of human beings. For each one, make sure you understand what they view as sacred, what they think about people, what are their ultimate goals, what is their pathway for reaching those goals, and what are their moral guidelines. Before we begin to look at individual religions, however, it is important to define exactly what a religion is. Religion can be surprisingly hard to define. There are lots of groups that are bound together by common beliefs with common goals and rituals. That could describe a football team, a political party, an army unit, or fraternity, but we wouldn't say they all are religious groups. What makes a group religious, the core idea that distinguishes a church from a football team, is a belief in something sacred. Religion always involves the concept of sacredness. Of course, that leads to the question of what we mean by sacred. In religions, the sacred refers to what is believed to be the ultimate, whatever is the basis for all truth and value, what is the source of life and creation, something mysterious that transcends the mundane reality of daily life and is set apart as holy. It is sacred with a capital S. We could make a case, for example, that football teams regard the Super Bowl trophy as sacred, or that citizens may regard their nation as sacred and sacrifice a lot for both. But those concepts are very much part of this world. They are sacredness with a small s. In religions, we are dealing with what lies beyond this world, the big S. With that understanding, we can then define religion as a system of symbols, beliefs, values, and practices by which a group of people interpret and respond to what they feel is sacred. In Western religions, the sacred is most often conceptualized as a god or goddess, in the singular or plural. That isn't true in all religions, and many Eastern religions specifically lack the concept of an eternal God. But in most of the religions we will study, a god or goddess will be present. Beliefs about that god or goddess will differ, but a divine being is the way the sacred is most often imagined. Of course, the existence of a divine being, a god, or even of a sacred power, cannot be proven. The fact is that all religions are based at their core on unprovable beliefs. Instead, people have faith that a divine being or a higher power exists. That is another way that all religions are alike. They all are based on faith. Faith is simply trust, without sufficient evidence that what you believe is true. More specifically, all religions are based on faith in a received tradition. People believe in stories and ideas that have been passed along, in some cases for thousands of years. No one today has ever seen Jesus or met Muhammad or listened to Moses. Christians, Muslims, and Jews have faith that the stories they are told are true. We can't even conclusively prove that Jesus or Moses ever existed, but believers have faith they did. For this reason, no religion can be proven to be true, and one religion cannot be proven more true than another. They are solely matters of belief, and people can believe anything. Part of what makes religions fascinating to study is that they are not tethered to observable reality, and so develop an amazing diversity of beliefs and practices. They are the exotic flowers of human culture. Whether it is a Scientologist's belief in the efficacy of an e-meter, or a Christian's belief that Jesus walked on water, or a Rastafarian's belief that smoking weed connects him with God, or a member of Heaven's Gate who believes their soul will be transported to a spaceship after committing suicide, we can't prove anyone is wrong or right. It all completely depends on what you choose to believe. Humans are the religious animal. Instead of being Homo sapiens, we could call ourselves Homo religiosus. Religions are found in every human culture, and it even appears religion was being practiced before humans arrived on the planet. As we'll see, the Neanderthals almost certainly were religious for tens of thousands of years prior to the emergence of humanity, and we may even see evidence for religion among earlier members of the Homo species. Your task will be to learn what all these religions have in common and how they are different, and hopefully in doing that, to think about your own beliefs, whatever they may be.